Ah, Quasimodo, you stupid bastard. Oh, hi there. Hello there. My name is Anonymous to you, and to continuate our celebration of Halloween, we shall be looking at a first-person horror game that came out 2 years ago, created by Red Barrels, named Outlast. The Red Barrels probably got sick of us destroying them in video games, so they decided to dent out arms and program a scary game. What's the deal with this, Earth?
In Outlast, we take the role of a reporter, Mike, surely up himself Upshur, who makes his way to Mount Massive Asylum to investigate strange occurrences going on inside after receiving an email from a worker in the asylum. Mike takes his guts and heroism of journalism into Mount Massive Asylum with a trusty video camera by his eyes and the capturing of grotesque, disgusting imagery, supernatural and ludicrously bizarre nature of human existence in shoes, along with a few mishaps inside. That's all I'll say. No spoiler territory shall be trespassed. You're safe. You're safe. Even though it released in 2013. Getting the visual standpoint out of the way, Outlast looks fantastic. The bleak and muddy green tone in the surroundings, along with the effects of the camera, are simply divine, although the green vision boggles the head a bit. The facilities look drab and worn, having murky, torn down sections of the building puking with vile blood and gore. The depths below and the sewers are dark, claustrophobic in tight spaces, a red river streaming through the pipes containing drenched bloody bodies. The prison ward where all the lunatics rummage about, containing scribbles on the wall and even more gore to smear into. But there are clean, spotless areas though. Oh, more blood and gore. We're locked into this foreboding atmosphere and there are no breaks throughout the extreme adventure, unless hiding in the locker and needing a glass of Bloody Mary counts as one. Character models look alright in most parts. Their malformed designs on the facial features and the entire bodies are frightening, but what makes them scary in my opinion is thinking of the process as to how they looked horrific in the first place. That doctor did some serious stuff. If there was a character I thought looked strange, but for the greater good, has to be the priest who sort of guides you through Mount Massive Hell. I don't know, it's probably the eyes and chinny chin. Oh, and Chris Walker. That's his real name. I call him Mr. Steroids, Mr. Hulkman, Mr. Main Encounter of the game. He don't look scary to me. Am I the only one? Intimidating at first for sure, but he's honestly just a bigger brute version of the other enemies that hogs up space in small condensed rooms. Just found him as a nuisance to be true. Anyway, my favourite thing for any game whatsoever is small details, and for Outlast, I give to you the fresh blood on the shoe, where after each tread the prints become weaker. Cool stuff, right?
Don't make fun of me. I'll hurt you. No, I'm just kidding, I don't fucking hurt my guests. Shut the fuck up!
The gameplay standpoint is a different approach to most first-person games. Not innovative, but different. You are a vulnerable man in this asylum. There's no guns to carry, no infliction of brawling, it's just Mike and his camera with the ability to run, look behind whilst running, and hide in lockers and under beds. Mike uses his camera not only to document the happenings, but is helpful for dark places with night vision mode. And trust me, you'll be more afraid of the camera's battery life than Mike taking a hit. My control is absolutely fine, from a controller definition of course. When it's running, you'll swerve through the hallways with ease and looking around is swift, except some clunkiness here and there with the jumping mechanics. It's not the best whatsoever and you'll need to do this for ledges, gaps and vents to reach to. That's another thing. Pacing for crouching is snail slow speed. I understand through orange squash areas, but as a whole, slow. These mechanics aren't used often, so it's all fine I guess. Before my thoughts go elsewhere, let me say that I love seeing the main protagonist's legs in first-person games. It feels as if I'm carrying a body instead of a legless character. We got the whole body. Wonky looking, yes, but nice to visually see. Oh, and let me quickly talk about Mike. He's a silent protagonist, sort of. You hear him gasp, breathe heavily, scream in pain and such, but no words are expressed whatsoever. Only from the notes he takes down from recording stuff with the camera do you read his opinion on things. And you sympathize with him. throughout the hell he goes through. Then again, he should have left when he saw the asylum in the first place. I would've. Jeez. And my favourite aspect of Outlast is the musical score done by Samuel Laflamme. You have the ambiance looking around the area with uncertain safety type compositions and the much more aggressive, holy crap, run away from the threat that is the hunt you tunes. That's kind of the dosage throughout the entire score. The score is well composed though, and the violin in the mellow sections as well as the blaring instruments when you die are highlights of the soundtrack. There is a minor dislike towards the handling of the score in certain scenarios, but I'll mention it soon. The massive question of all. Is Outlast pants-soiling scary? In parts. Everyone looks terrifying. Everywhere you go about in the asylum is never safe. The whole asylum is nearly dark, so when the camera runs out of battery juice, you're screwed. Sections such as the sewers are a terror to witness. There are moments not for the squeamish and faint of heart. Seriously, one scene had me hiding my hands. Oh, and of course, the jump scare. You can blame the musical score for that. But after a while rummaging through the crazy building, becoming one within the insane, you kind of get used to the horror, and the tension of enemies begins to dimmer from that. Sure, your encounters look revolting and abhorrent with all the scars, surgical implementations, either dick or no dick, and declare on wanting Mike chopped into pieces. It's just that... two things. One, the way the crazy patients act are either ludicrously hammy or hard to be taken seriously. A definitive example is the two buff bros hanging out with their wang out. And two, all the enemies are stupid. I'm talking from an AI standpoint, of course. Right here, for example, the incredible Steroid Hulk is right there. He should visibly be able to see me from the side of his eyes, but nope. Little piggy ain't nowhere to be found, apparently. Not only that, but if you get trapped in a small area, he whacks you once, waits 5 seconds, and then gives you a good guts a tug. So he is pretty much on a timer attack like a turn-based RPG before he will hit you again. And the major advantage to the player with all this is the run. Keep on running about and the crazy people won't get you. Saves time hiding in lockers and more towards getting out of hell faster. The disadvantage is that the game will be less than 3 hours long if you do this. And you might miss some documents or notes on the way if you care about that stuff. You probably found this game extremely frightening, and don't get me wrong, it is. I just kind of stopped. I blame the dick men, they were flaunting their Mount Massive mansions about the place. I'll stop with the dick jokes. I'm gonna be straight. I have a love-hate situation with the ending. I hate the ending because it looked like it was going in a direction that was a saddening truth to be, but a shot of outlasting the inevitability. But the door opens and my jaw drops. The ending leaves a sour taste in your mouth and makes the time you spent seem completely pointless. The love side to this ending doesn't come from the main game though, but the DLC. The Whistleblower DLC, it's good, not much different in forms of gameplay, and the gory imagery still goes bonkers, if not a bit too much this time for shock value alone. Can't forget the male genitalia you get to see the main protagonist own this time, fucking Jesus. The plot and character perspective is neat, not only does it take place before the events, but during as well, and the main character this time is the man who emailed Mike about the strange stuff. So the ending doesn't change anything to the actual ending delivered in the main game, but it goes further forward and wraps up a much more satisfying conclusion than the one given in the main game. So, kudos to that.
Outlast is a bloody gory good time, if a bit short, including the DLC. But grab some friends, tie them down to chairs, and get a long pair of scissors and cut off their, can we cut that out, please? Grab some friends who like horror, turn off the lights, and have a treat for us. Play it on hard, because if you play it on normal, well, you're not hardcore.
But you're not hardcore!
Unless you live A! Shut up before a sexual life. There's no singing awesome song segments from a 2003 Jack Black movie in my domain, buddy.
Buddy, eh? Well, you're not hardcore unless you live hardcore.
Leave me alone, you pesky natural wax candle that smells of enlightenment and dignity.
You know what? I'm trying to lighten up the place. And all you're doing is giving me shit for singing? You know what? Fuck you. I don't need your bitching. I'm the skull of skulls, motherfucker. Get another fucking candle in your life, you corpse fucker. I'm out.
Well, go. I'll find a much more lucrative candle to talk to that will smell much more dominant than you.
You know, I would, but I don't have legs. So can we call it amends?
Sure, end the video faster. Happy Halloween, and we'll meet again soon.
You seriously need to stop that.
Shut up.